Hey y'all, hey! Woo! Welcome back to another episode. It's my fireworks. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode. So glad to have you back. So glad to be seen. Yeah, be seen. We have two amazing guests with me today. Of course, it's me, Nayana. But I got two amazing guests. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
I'm Kathleen.
I'm Jakson.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
So we're going to have a fun little talk with each other, y'all. We're just going to dialogue. Stay with us, and we're just going to get right into it. So, Miss Kathleen, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. I'm Kathleen. I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. I went to Clemson and studied chemical engineering there. And at Career Fair, I met up with Eastman. So through them, I got a job over here. So that's why I moved over to Tennessee. And since then, I've just been working there and going to Jubilee. And I'd say loving every second of it, but that is not the truth. But I'm learning to love every second of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Miss Jakson.
I was born and raised here my whole life. Unfortunately, I think I lived in Gray for a split second, but that's still Johnson City. I went to high school, but I did not go to college. I worked at Plato's Closet, which I call Plato's University because that's where I lived my college life. And then I worked at Keller Williams, and now I'm at the church, which has been a dream job to work in ministry. So I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I actually didn't know you did Plato's Closet. I like that place.
Yes, some people don't. Some people judge
I
by
like
the
it's a
vibes,
little-
but I did. It was fun.
It's
It was
a-
really fun.
I like it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm,
I still shop there.
So listen, y'all. I got two icebreakers, okay, just to get us in the spirits, I guess. So the first one is, would you rather hear Jesus preach or see one of his miracles?
Ooh, preach.
Preach.
Easy.
That was fast.
I need
Why?
the word.
Mm.
Because, like, miracles, like, not anyone can do a miracle, but, like, those are just signs to point to what he said he was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to hear him teach. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I think I would love to see a miracle, but time-wise, because preaching is probably a lot longer, just even hearing his voice, I want to know what he sounds like, and just his gesture. Sorry, these aligners are gonna be...
It's okay. It's okay.
The gestures and everything that he does, but then it's like, oh, look, you want to see a miracle. But I agree on your end. I want to hear him preach.
But here's my thing. Like, okay, feeding the 5,000. They all got to see the miracle. But not all of them believe. But you know who got to hear him speak? His disciples. They got to hear all that good stuff. So I want to be, that's where I want to be, close.
Dang, that's good.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I want to see a miracle. I know.
It's hard because I think seeing like just the woman who bled for like which even though we
Yeah,
couldn't
dang,
see
that would be good to
I
see.
feel like that was such a beautiful moment. Or even the guy who had leprosy and seeing before, and then all of a sudden it's just no, that would be so, because we're not used to seeing stuff like that here.
You know what's crazy? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you
No,
off,
you're
but I'm
good.
reading in Mark. The guy with it's in Mark. I'm reading Mark, and I just read about the leprosy. Like I'm actually like reading it. It's like it's different when you can hear preacher talk about it or whatever. But when I read it, and I was like, oh, that's it's
Right.
very like interesting. It's very like
Yes.
intriguing. So I just read about that. So to hear you say that was pretty cool.
Yes, it's like, because I feel like growing up, we always are told the stories. Because I told them, I'm like, I'm wanting to start from the beginning, so I'm in Exodus now, and like even just like reading Exodus and it's starting to talk about Moses and stuff, I'm like, oh snap, here it goes. This is real. I'm like, oh my God, this is real life.
Yeah.
And then you read about the tabernacle for 20 chapters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen.
I took a break.
I don't know about well, that's another story. But anyways, second one.
Okay.
Okay, it says hum or quote a lyric from a worship song and let's see if we can guess it. Who's going first?
It's like, do I want to do a hard one or do I want an easy one?
I feel like this is the game we play every Sunday, or before every Sunday, where she's like, "Kat, what's worship team playing? What are we playing during worship?" And I'll just like give hints so she can guess the song.
Ooh. Do you want to go first?
No, I always get that. You
Okay.
You gotta go first.
Okay. You said hum or quote?
You can hum or quote it, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, my favorite one right now. If the highest place I reach is at your feet, then I've done it all.
I don't know the title of it, but I know the song.
You've
Does
quoted that. I don't know the song.
I don't know the title.
It's called What a God. Which I wouldn't have thought that because every time I heard clips of it, it was that part in general. But I have been listening that on repeat lately.
That is a good
and that
one.
section, I even print off that lyrics of that one part. And every time I look at it, I'm like, man, that's so good. But what a God I've been loving.
I like that one.
I love
I
that
do like
song.
that one. That was
I
good.
told Miss Anita to play it.
I need to listen to it because I don't think I've even heard it. You mentioned it a lot.
I'll send it to you.
Have we done it at church before?
No.
We haven't, but I have heard that song.
Because I think it goes, if the highest
ahead and
place I
send us
reach is
link.
at your feet, then I've done it all. If the best thing that I've seen is your glory, then I've seen it all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
That's good.
I
That
love
was
it.
good. That was good. All right, Miss Cat, you got one?
What was I listening to? Yes, last night. I'm getting stage fright.
It's okay.
I'm getting stage fright.
It's okay. Take your time.
But this one's gonna be easy. Before I ever knew his name, I was dead and walking in my ways.
Ooh. Before I ever knew his name, I was dead walking in my ways.
Yeah, I think that's the lyric.
You said it was going to be easy, but
I know.
It's the first line of the song, and it's a semi-popular song.
Have we sung it at church?
It's an upbeat song. No, we haven't sang it at church. Sydney really likes this song.
Ooh.
It is a Maverick City song, and it's a newer one. It's Nobody But Jesus.
Oh.
I was just about to say that. Dang
I would
it.
have to hear that song still because I don't think,
It's good.
I don't know if I've heard it.
Dang it. I've
Because
not
it's so
heard it in a long
upbeat, but the
time.
lyrics are just like, ooh, yeah.
Man, because when you said Cindy liked that song, I was like, she was on a run with Nobody But Jesus for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Dang it.
I was listening to it this morning. I might have. You ever get excited when you listen to a good song and when you're driving and you you go a little fast? That was me this morning.
Yes. Yes.
Dang.
Listen, that's BC. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hum and quote my song.
Okay.
You may have heard it. I don't want to give it away. I'm gonna just hold on. Dang, if I say that, it's gonna give it away.
That's what you
Okay.
think, but maybe it won't.
I'm gonna hum it.
Okay.
You see, but I can't sing, so that's why I didn't hum it.
Okay, that's it.
Hold up.
That's the
Is that the singer part or the music part?
that's the singer. That's the singer. It's on the radio.
You said,
Who's it by?
I don't know her name. I just know the
Her
song.
name?
It is a her. I don't know the her. I can tell you.
Please.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's called Desperate.
Mm.
Have you heard that song? It's like Desperate. I'm desperate. It's a new song.
no.
It's good.
You should
It's really good.
go ahead and.
Can you say that to
It's
us?
good. Yeah, I got
Okay.
you. It's really good. It's really good. It had me in the car like, like talking about when the music is loud and then people be like,
What are you doing?
yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Try to
But
drive
yes.
with a single tear rolling down your cheek.
Yes. It'd be like, yes. Like,
Pull
trying to
twerk
hide
like,
it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
Oh my! Please sing that.
Yes,
I
it's a
wanna
good
hear it.
song.
Yeah. And it's
But
a girl.
yes.
Is she young? Old? Tasha Cobb?
She's middle aged, maybe. I could be wrong. It's fairly new. I don't know. We haven't sung it at church.
Naomi? Was she on Maverick City?
No.
Okay, never mind.
It's she was kind of like it gives country gospel.
Oh.
Country gospel.
Kind of.
Hmm.
Kind of. but I could be wrong.
I'm intrigued about
It
this
is
song.
it is pretty good. I think
Okay.
it's pretty good. But yeah, I have to. I gotta send y'all. It's really good.
I need to re-up my worship playlist.
Well, me too. Apparently, because that song you talked about, I don't think
We should do a Spotify mix.
Yes.
Have you heard those?
No.
Where like you take people's playlists and it gives you like what based on what you like, it takes the other person's genres and styles that you like out of their playlist and you share them.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, see, I don't really use Spotify.
Me either.
Dang
Are
it.
you Apple Music?
Yeah.
I'm Apple Music.
Yeah.
That must be a Tennessee thing.
What, Spotify?
Because everyone I went to college with was a Spotify person.
Oh.
Really?
But here, everyone's an Apple Music person. And it's annoying. Yeah, I see Mr. Kelvin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. Well, to be fair, Toss and Talk is on Spotify and Apple Music. So either one. Anyways, so y'all, I don't really have a question, but I do want to talk about like some testimonies or some before BC, how y'all were, if depending on whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah.
How that look, what that looked like, and then what led you up to the person you are now. So whatever you feel led to say, I'll hand it over to you guys.
Okay.
You wanna go first?
Okay. You got it.
I'll go first. So I came to Christ in December 2021. So truly not that long ago. And it was after I graduated college. I had moved here. And the way I grew up, so my mom's always been a really devout believer. And we would go to church sometimes, but it was a very surface level church where nothing wrong with that church. I'm sure they're fine, but like we would walk in, we would walk out. I didn't know anybody. And it was just kind of this thing that we did on Sundays. But I know my mom was a really strong believer because I would look at her and I'm like, why are you singing? You can't sing.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? What's wrong with you? But so I grown up knowing about church and church things, but by the time I got to high school, I really didn't believe in God at all. I still tried to be a good person, and I mean, I'm a goody two-shoes now, and I still kind of was back then, as goody two-shoes as you can be when you're depraved. But I was just, I don't know, I thought I was too smart for God, was a big way how I felt. Like, well, I've always been really self-sufficient and independent, and I would get really good grades and like think my way through stuff, and where my parents are I was a first-generation American, so I figured out a lot of things by myself, and got really far by myself. And so I went to school, did really well, got the job here, did really well. I had my boyfriend at the time, and our relationship was going really well. But when I moved here, I thought I really had it all. But through moving here, even though it's still close to home, like my whole support system was gone. My boyfriend at the time, he was military, so he actually got his orders. And that was nothing but God, because COVID was a whole thing that aligned this timeline to where the only choice was for him to leave, at least in distance for a while. So he went to the Air Force, and for the first time ever in my life, I was just like truly alone. And I thought I had all the things. I'm like, this is everything I'd worked so hard for, because I've always been a hard worker and had worked really, really hard for this job, done everything I could, did the grades, did the work, did the school. But I'm like, why do I still feel so empty and alone? And I didn't have any friends here, so came to Jubilee because Candace invited me, and I think she was already a strong believer at that point too, but she just invited me to church. I'm like, okay, I got no other choice. I just need friends. Christians are crazy, but they're all nice people. And the music was bumping, so I was like, okay, like I like music. I can get behind this. But it was in that God took that situation to show me, no matter what you do, it's gonna come up empty without me. And as I was sitting there alone, I was like, I think I kind of skipped some stuff. Because you were like, what were you like before Christ?
It's okay.
Let's go back to that for a second. It was fine, but it was so empty and so lonely. because it was about working hard for really nothing. Because what comes out of it? If you don't have God, you're just working to what? Die? Good job. You built up a big pile of money and you did well for yourself and you took care of your family, but you're going to die one day and so will they. And what good does that do? And it took me getting to that low moment to see that without God, it was all really pointless. But yeah. And also, I guess, like, my mental health was not good before I met Christ either. It was very dark. Because it's one of those things where it's like, when you think too much, you start thinking about, like, what's the point? And that's really depressing. But...
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
Okay, you get me?
I get you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, or I don't know. I can't remember if you were there. But it was one time, can't remember, it was a long time ago. It was the church. It was Miss Sharon, Miss Tammy was there, Miss Anita. We had like a sleepover.
Yeah.
What was
At
that?
the hotel?
Our
Yeah.
women's night.
Yes.
That was women's
Sleepover.
night?
Yeah.
I remember going, and I remember you had said, I don't know if you're okay with this, but
No,
you
go
asked a
ahead, that's
question.
fine.
You asked a question to Miss Tammy and was like, you didn't something was going on with your relationship, I'm supposing. And you didn't know if God was like saying, this is over or
stick it out.
stick it out. Yeah. So I do. Do you were you there?
Yes, I do.
I
That's
remember
crazy
that. I don't know
you
if-
remember that.
I remember that.
Oh,
That
that's
was
the
a fun
guy
night.
who went to the Air Force.
Okay. I remember that was a fun night.
And I just remember because Miss
Roughly.
Jenny was like, she clocked me from the beginning. She was like, sometimes we choose comfort, and sometimes God will give you a very clear sign, but you'll know. And I was like, I'll know for sure. And I did know. But for so long, it was an unequally yoked relationship. But where he had grown up in the church, and he was actually a church musician even.
I remember that.
Yeah, but, you know, I think it's a red flag when you're like, hey, babe, I found Jesus, and I'm going to go hard for this. And their reaction is, oh, you're doing a lot. That might be a little too much. Why are you always at the church? So that was when I was like,
Gotcha.
Red flag, red flag, red flag.
yeah.
Yeah. And that hurt a little bit, did it?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because I think, so before I came to Christ, like, we would talk in our relationship, and he had grown up in the church. I would tell him straight up, like, yeah, I don't believe in God. He was like, no, but I want us to be together in heaven one day. Well, anyways, plot twist. It says in Matthew whatever, like, that's not that important in heaven. But, so he used to be, like, he wouldn't even try to convince me, which is another red flag. But, yeah, but I thought he would be excited once I finally told him, like, oh, yeah, I actually believe now. But it was kind of like uh-oh. Does this mean, we're going to stop doing this? I'm like, yes, it does mean we're going to stop doing that. And, of course, that didn't go over well. But, yeah.
It's crazy because, like, people always say, yeah, I grew up in a church. I'm a Christian. You can grow up in the church and still, like Pastor says all the time, you can grow up in a church, you can lead in the church and still not know who God is.
Yeah.
So.
And
yeah.
I'll be honest, like, so growing up not believing, I had a big trust issue with people in the church because a lot of the Christians that I knew growing up, like my friends and stuff, they were doing the same thing I was. And a lot of them, it felt very self-righteous and hypocritical and looking down on people for sinning and stuff, which, I mean, sin is bad, but it's like just a lot of self-righteous energy, which made it so hard to believe at first. But praise God for the Word of God, because I think that's why I'm so hungry for the Word, because, like, when I was first coming to Christ, I didn't trust people yet. I didn't know anyone in Jubilee truly yet to where I, like, fully gave my trust to them to, like, have stewardship over me. But the Word was what, like, it came to life, and it gave me, like, a rock-solid foundation, because I was like, how much of this is human tradition versus what the Word says? Because even the Pharisees, they use a lot of human tradition, and they seemed really legit. And so, but if you stand on the Word, there's no argument there. He said what he said. But, yeah.
Good.
I feel like I talked a lot.
No, you're good.
No, that was
No,
good.
that was good. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
You're Sorry. So I was born and raised in the church. I have Jubilee is all I've known.
Yeah.
And so no choice. My parents were very much involved, so I felt like I was at the church 24/7. Their family was my family. And so I just remember like when I was younger, like even in worship and stuff, I would observe and just see how people would cry and lift their hands, and I would just see how people are in it, and I never understood it, but I knew that as I got older, I would come to that point. But I knew as I was getting older, no, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my college life. And then sometime when I mature more, I'm going to sit down and be serious about God. And so that was kind of just my mindset that whole time. I went to, like, even in high school years, I believed in God, but I never had an actual relationship with him. I never fully understood his love. I never, like, I just didn't know much about him. I just knew that he died on the cross for my sins. I'm saved. Boom, that was it. I didn't really have a desire to go further than that. But I always knew there was something there. Like, I didn't know how to describe it, but I just knew there's something there, but I'm going to wait until I get older to do that. And so I would say, like, Kathleen, I don't know if I was a goody two-shoes. I didn't get into much. I was just living life until 18. That was my rebellious year.
I understand.
Well, I had some years. But once I turned 18, that's when I had my first everything. That was my college life. And so going against my parents, I remember one time my mom found out I did something, and she was like, I don't know if I should explain it all.
I was like, what's this podcast?
I know. But there was one time when she found out, or she asked me if I've done something, and I said yes. She was like, "Who even are you?" And it was at that, and I was just like, I did not care. I was just living my best life. I was with that crowd. I was just in it all. And so it wasn't until 2019 there was 2 deaths that hit me hard, that like slapped me in the face. And the first one was my Uncle Kirby, who was our Pastor Hill. He was our pastor at the time. He's my godfather. He passed away out of nowhere. He was, I can't even remember. He was sick the day before, but I honestly, it was such a blur. Like, how it happened was just so shocking. Everybody was shocked. This was so random. And so,
is that Pastor Debbie's husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that got me, because I knew, like, I always knew that, like I said, when I got to a certain point in my age, I would want to be serious about God, but I knew that I would go to him about it, because I also wanted to make him proud. I want to make my parents proud. So I knew, like, when I was ready, okay, I'm going to go to him and, like, all that stuff. And so when that happened, I said, oh, I can't go to him. And I'm like, I know that point's going to come, but he's not even going to see that. And so that was kind of a wake up. And then there was a friend that passed away, and we weren't close or anything. He was very close with one of my cousins and another friend, but we weren't like close. But like we kind of knew each other, middle school stuff. And so I've always like seen him on social media, all that stuff. He was always around and all that. And so whenever I can't remember that night, but I got a call. I think my cousin told me, but told that he passed away. And it was so random, because like literally that day he posted on his Snapchat, he was living his best life, and all of a sudden he was gone by a very tragic accident. And so at his funeral, they were talking about how his fire for God. They were talking about when he was like, he felt like he could be evangelist, just talking about like waking up early, reading the Bible. And I was just so shocked, because I'm not used to, I know there's young people who were on fire for God, but as far as people that I knew, and I think that was so shocking that even though we weren't close, but I knew him, and to know that someone my age was doing that, waking up early to read the word, was on fire, was feeling like he could be this and that. And I like that just touched me in a way that that whole night was just, what? And something in me was just starting to bubble up. And so I got home. No one was at the house. I locked myself in my bathroom, and I just remember like something in me was like, you need to play some worship music. And so I was playing Beautiful Name by Hillsong, and all of a sudden I just broke down, and I was so I was crying so uncontrollably. I didn't know what I was feeling. I was feeling peace. I was feeling confusion. Like I was so confused on what was going on and why is this happening. And so I was in it for a while. So my mom came back home, or no, I called my mom, and I was explaining everything to her. She says, I think you had an encounter with God. And I was like, oh, snap. And so that whole night, I remember calling, like, I just had that desire in me, like, I need to do something about this. And I was like, I really want to have, like, a group of other young people to do this with and to know, like, to grow and know more about him. So I remember I told Ari, and I even called my friend Chloe at the time and told her about it. And it was just a whole, like, right then and there, he put a desire in my heart to have, like, we need to have a group of young people who also are experiencing this and who are on fire for God. And so I didn't know who I could go to. And so our pastor at the time, who wasn't pastor at the time then, my mom suggested to go to the Johnsons. And so I went to them. I had Ari, I drug her with me because I was like, I don't want to do this by myself. I went to them. I explained everything that happened. And so from
The
there,
codependency is crazy.
very much so. And so we went to their house, and I just sat down and explained everything to them. And so they were like, okay, so we're going to disciple you. So we went through the Foundations book, actually. And just had that one-on-one time. We met every Wednesday, and it was all since COVID time. We didn't meet at the church. So we met every Wednesday, and they just discipled us. And then from there, I came with a big elaborate thing in the beginning. I was like, I think we should get a bunch of young people. We should come together. He was like, slow your roll. Let's just start with you two first. And I said, okay. And so then he took over, and we started doing Friday nights, which is now called Chosen. But we would just play games. It's like we would talk about God stuff, but we were trying to get people together, and we'd have game nights and stuff. And then Pastor Johnson pull us aside and, like, bring up conversation about God and stuff. And so ever since then, I think after, I'm getting too far ahead. I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm reeling it back in. So after that encounter and after all that, I was still living, I think, not common, but I think for a lot of people who just got saved and stuff, it's like there's a lukewarm stage. And I was definitely there because I was trying to figure out who, like, how do I still be in the world, but then also how do I live for Jesus? I have, like, my best friend here who, like, I have people here, my little circle that aren't in that same position.
But
But
then
then
I love them to death.
And I love them so much, but I know, like, every time I hung out with them, I knew I didn't need to do the things I was doing. But then so it was very much back and forth and just trying to figure that out. And I can't remember the exact year, but I remember there was a moment in time where, like, I said, okay, I have to take him seriously. I can't go back and forth. And so I lost friendships along the way, but I had so many prayers for, like, actually I'm not going to get into all of that, but he has blessed me so much. Now I've grown so much, like, the person I was then, completely different than I am now. I look back at my Snapchat memories and I cringe out because I'm like, who in the world? And so it feels good. Like, I'm not going to say that I wasn't happy, BC. Like, I had a fun time. Like, those were fun times and fun memories, but I always knew there was something missing. And anytime I was by myself, I felt very dark. And there was a period in time where I was just dark things going on and listening to voices in my head. But now it's like there's pure joy, and my dependency is more on God now instead of having to rely on people. And so, and ever since then, he's just blessed me with an amazing friend group. And just...
You ain't got to worry about them.
I know.
You ain't got to worry about them.
And it's just, to do life with people who are also on the same page and on fire, it really does help you. And it's crazy. It's just crazy how life works and how he moved and everything. And now we have Chosen, and just sitting down, and it's just, I'm shocked. I look back, like, just talking about it, I'm like, oh, dang, God, you really did a thing. But yeah, that's kind of the...
And part of me is like, because I know I didn't get a chance to meet Mr. Kirby, but losing him and your friend, I know that must have been really hard, but I also think we can be confident they went to the Lord, but I wonder if the Lord made that happen, or I feel like I know he made that happen because he knew what you're going to do with your life and was placing that anointing on your life through them.
That's crazy, ain't it?
That
So
is
not only is it
crazy.
your fruit, but it's their fruit too. Even though they're not even here anymore, but that's Mr. Kirby's fruit right there. What you're doing with the young adults.
That's good. That was good. I was thinking that, but that was good.
Yeah.
Because I've heard this, but y'all know Tabitha Brown?
Yes.
She speaks about it. She's like, when God's done with you, like something like that. Like you say he was living his life, his best life, and then he's gone. And maybe, I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe, like she said, that's why it happened, because it was for you to see that and then chosen. And,
That's scary to think about. Because I don't think he intentionally like had them.
Yeah.
Like he intentionally killed them or anything like that, right?
No.
But I think because you know how he uses everything for the good in his glory.
Yeah.
I think he definitely used that to plant a seed and because if none of that happened, surely I'm like he would have something else would have happened. I'm hoping. I don't even know what I would be like now if I didn't change, but it is crazy how he used that to have this happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it would have happened any differently.
Because he's always going to be faithful.
Yeah.
And he used, in his faithfulness, he's made it fruitful.
Yeah.
Even though it's tragic, even though it hurts.
Yeah.
It's been very fruitful.
Let me rephrase what I said, because I don't know if I said
get
that
what you
right.
were saying. I was saying that for here.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I don't mean like he just, but like, but like when your purpose is completed, is what I was trying to say. Y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, just
No, I knew what you meant, and I was like, let me kind of rephrase it.
Okay, good. Because I was like, wait, did I just? Okay, y'all. I
No,
promise,
you're good.
He's still working on me, but I didn't mean it like that. So yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay. Just
You're
clarify.
good. I completely knew what you meant.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, is my BC time?
Yes.
Yes.
We want to
I was
know.
like, I want to know about Nayana.
She's probably already shared this with you guys, but we want to know.
I'm a little bit busy. So, where do I start?
When did you come to Christ?
Oh,
What
well.
year was that?
Yeah, what year was that? I also want to know what you were like before.
Okay, so.
What was your year? Sorry.
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well.
It
Okay.
was more gradual.
So, I was raised in the church, of course, Baptist, whatever. I got baptized at 13.
Oh.
Now, I got baptized at 13. But I didn't say I found God at 13. So, I would say growing up, I didn't have a good example. Like, I knew, like, okay, I'll get baptized. I knew that was a thing. I seen people go get baptized. They get dipped in the water. I want to get dipped in the water.
Yep.
And I knew my mama would be proud of me because, I mean, this is a big accomplishment. But I didn't have a good example after that. Like, I got baptized, and I was like, got to say this little thing, but, okay, now what? Kind of thing. So, of course, go to church every Sunday. Yeah, it would always, even growing up, even before BC, I would have this feeling of, like, I'm different, but I didn't know that feeling until, like, now. But it was just a feeling like a...
Oh, you've mentioned this before.
Yeah, it almost kind of felt like guilt, maybe, but I didn't know what it was. I felt different. It was crazy because it was some people that was in the world that wasn't even saved be like, why are you doing this? You're not even like them. And I'd be like, I don't know. That was my word growing up. I don't know. I literally said I don't know to everything. But anyways, so I didn't have a good example of like what am I supposed to do now after getting saved? Whatever. So growing up, middle school, all that stuff, it was very dark. I had a very dark period of time, and I would write in my book. Also, my mom had me at 14. I know this is not my story. This is her story. But she had me at 14. So she was also growing up when I was growing up. You know what I mean?
So she would have been like, when you were 14, she would have been like 28.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
we were,
Gosh.
it's like a baby having a baby. So,
Oh, wow.
But I love my mama. I do. She did everything. She's single mom. So it's kind of just, she was growing up. I was growing up.
Yeah.
So she did the best she could.
Yeah.
So, but in middle school, I had this dark period of time. I got bullied because I used to wear these glasses, and I was like a stick. I was literally like a stick. And I went through this tomboyish stage where I would go to school because I had braids, and I wear these tomboy clothes, looking whatever, y'all. So I had my dark phase. I had this little journal, and I still remember it because I still got it. It's at home. It's in Nashville. But it's this book. I used to write. It's so dark. I used to write, I don't think my mama loves me, blah, blah, blah. It was a whole bunch of dark stuff, like a whole bunch of dark stuff. It would be plenty of times where I would just, because I didn't, like I said, my mama was young. She was still learning. I was still learning. So it's kind of hard. And then on top of that, she had another child, so I had to be big sister at 7 years old. So I would go. It would be times where I would have to play mama a lot of times, and then I don't know how to handle all those emotions at a young age. So there'll be times where I would cry myself to sleep, or I would take a shower and I would just cry. And I don't know. I guess I don't really know. It's just a lot of emotions that I didn't know what is this, like what to do with. So I would just cry and cry. And I didn't express anything to my mom or to anybody really, because it was like, I got to be big girl and I got to be big sister. And sometimes I got to be mom. So that's how that was. And at the same time, I'm supposed to be saved, but I don't know what that looks like. So growing up, high school, 18. Listen, I waited till I turned 18, y'all, to act a fool.
Me too.
But
Because the second I was away from home.
yes, I don't know what happened with it when I turned 18. I think I was angry. It was my angry period. I was just like lashed out type thing, and I lost my virginity at 18. Fell in love with the person I lost my virginity and went crazy over him, y'all. But if we all go through it, I understand. Went crazy over him, y'all. What did I do? We got in plenty of fights. So y'all, we got in plenty of fights. So this is the time, I think my mom was like, maybe, I'm 17. I was at 14. She probably like 30s or something like that. So this time she got like 3 kids at this time. My mama told me, she was like, this was her 3rd child. She's like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, I ain't raising no more, mama. I ain't raising no more. And she was like, okay. And then, because at this point, I mean, it was just kind of natural. Like I said, she's growing up to whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, whatever. The 3rd one comes out. And then at this point, I'm angry. So I had a boyfriend. I lost my virginity, whatever. Y'all, one of the fights I did. Y'all want to know the fight?
Yes.
So one of the fights was, the boy had like left his phone in my purse, and I went through it and I seen he was texting somebody or texting about somebody or whatever, and I literally was like, first of all, I didn't care where I was, who was what, no authority, nothing. The bell rung. My mission was, okay, I'm going to put my stuff down in class, and then I'm going to go find where you at. So I went to go find where he was, and then I think I threw the phone at him across the room, and I blacked out after that. I don't know. We was outside somewhere, and he was picking me up, and that's all I remember. We went to the office. Now, this time, the lady, she was a vice president. She was on my side because she was like, well, it wasn't, you know what I mean, that time.
Was this at ATSU or?
No, this is in Nashville.
In Nashville, okay.
So the second time, y'all. Like I said, I was just angry at this point, and I was lashing out of anger.
Yep.
So it was one time, I guess I was just mad, and he, the same boy, had spilled some hand sanitizer on my leg, y'all, on my new uniform pants, and I was raged. I went to the bathroom, I took them off. I had leggings on. And then I decided when the bell rung, but this time I had a little bit more decency because I was like, can I go to the bathroom and get a little mark or whatever? So I went to the bell, got a mark, and I went to see where he was. And then I
that seems to be the initiative.
Yeah.
I wanted to go see where he was.
And then I like boom in his face, and then I walked out. And then I remember he followed me, he pinned me against the locker, and I blacked out, y'all. All I remember is he was on top of me on the floor. Everybody was like, Nayana, stop. And then I got up off the floor, and my toe was like I don't know if I broke it, but it would hurt so bad. I went to the office, and that time she was not on my side because she was like, I don't understand what is going on. And I was like, girl, me neither. I'm just angry. But, y'all, that time I had freshly turned 18. So they clink, clink. Yeah, they weren't
For
playing.
real?
Yeah, they did.
No.
And I went to jail 12 hours. 12 hours was enough for me. It was enough for me.
Whoa.
So they did send me to jail, and I got suspended. Because in my school, I guess when you turn 18, if you fight, then they automatically...
Really?
Yeah, you
Clink, clink.
yeah.
I did not
And
know
I was
that.
fresh. I'm talking about my birthday's in February. March just happened.
No.
That's why I said I waited exactly till
Listen,
18 to act the
Have
fool.
you seen Beyond Scare Straight? That sounds like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
clearly. But I was like,
Can I ask how it was for the 12 hours?
oh, I'm going to tell you. Like I said, 12 hours is enough for me, okay? First of all, when you know how you angry after everything you ain't done, you good now. That's how the devil works. That's how the devil works.
For real.
Now I'm sitting up here like, oh, I'm good now. But I'm really not, because these 12 hours, boy. And then, like, the whole time, y'all, my foot is throbbing. Like, my toe throbbing. So, they locked me up. I went to the jail. And then I was sitting in the little, I guess it's like a little waiting area they have. And I was just sitting there. And I was like, are they going to call me? Do I call somebody? First of all, I was afraid. Well, my mama knew, because the vice president had to call. So I didn't really know who to call, because my mom, she already knew. And she wasn't come get me until it was time. That was kind of like my punishment. Oh, I get it. I needed that.
Yeah.
But I just sat there. I thought I was going to leave. No, I got booked in, whatever. And then that's when the real deal. They brought out these chains. Y'all.
Chains?
I'm talking about they thick. It's thick. Chains that's like thick and connected. Another chain, connected, another one. They told us to stand up. They put me in these handcuffs. I started crying because I said, this not for me. I'm not supposed to be here. I was just mad because he put some hands, this is when reality set in. Because I was like, I'm about to go to jail? Like, what? Are you what? I can't.
And I just turned 18 a month ago.
Oh my, y'all, when I say, I'm talking about my whole body was just like, no, I can't do this.
I'm
was
imagining
crying.
our high schoolers at the church who are like 17, and I'm just like, oh no.
Like, I'm talking about
babies.
it was adults in there. Like, it was a man on that, it was a few men on that side and some women on this side. And they was in there just chilling and talking. I'm just like, y'all cool with this? No. So they did that. We got in the van. I'm talking about, I'm boo-hooing. I don't care who see me. I'm boo-hooing. And this one lady talking to me, telling me, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
I'm going to jail.
No.
I would freak out.
I was. Jakson, I was. I'm talking about boo-hooing the whole time. And then we finally it was a long drive. We was in this van, like it had no windows. We was all like seated like this. And we was all locked up, so we couldn't do nothing but it was just like this. So we was just sitting down, and then we finally got to the jailhouse or wherever it was, and they put us in the holding cell to get, like, booked into the prison. So this whole time, I was just sitting there by myself. The other women that was with me, they was out there, I guess, talking to the officer that was whatever, gonna put us in or whatever. And I heard this one lady, she was like, just blabbing off the mouth. And then there was another lady that was there. She was an officer. She actually worked at my elementary school. And then, so I was sitting the whole time, I was just sitting there waiting for my name to be called, just thinking about life and, like, what I did. And just, the reality was sitting. I couldn't do nothing. I just had to sit there. So I was just thinking, and they finally called my name. She was like, Nayana, what are you doing here? And I was like, at that point, I just, like, what do you do? I didn't really say much. I was just like, I just got in trouble. She was like, girl, you're not supposed to be here. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, no. No. But she was like, all right, go ahead. So we had to do the whole check-in, whatever, the squawk off, y'all, the squawk off. I know, that was so embarrassing. But we had to do that. And then we checked in. They gave me like the little orange little clothing.
Did
I
you
know.
put the clothes
Yes.
on?
That's why I said y'all reality's hit.
Oh, dang.
Oh, it hit. It hit. So I was like, for real. Had the slides, had the little bag with all my stuff in it, and then they brought me to a room. And at this point, it was nighttime, so everybody was asleep. So everybody was asleep except for this one girl. She was up coloring. I don't know what she was doing, but they brought me into the room, and I guess laid down. And for some reason, I went to sleep. Like, that little period of time, like the 12 hours or whatever,
Yeah.
I fell asleep. Like, it was a deep sleep. Like,
I mean, you done fought someone
Yeah.
and boohoo cried. I felt
yeah,
that.
it was a day. It was a
Yeah.
day. And I was, like, in a deep sleep that the lady had to, like, push my head to wake me up when it was time for me to leave. She was like, wake up. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I was tired, too. So, eventually I left, and I guess that was my 12 hours. I put my clothes back on, all that stuff. My mama was there. And of course, I had to deal with that because I was like, "Oh Lord." So we had to talk, and then even after that, y'all, I was still like a little angry.
Yeah.
I had like a little attitude because it was still kind of like, I don't know. I learned my lesson. I definitely did, but I was still even a little angry after that. But I want to say, when I really got a relationship with God was, what is this, 25? Maybe like 4 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
'Cause
I
I
thought,
got
I thought
to-
the jail cell story was I found Jesus.
No, that
in
was
the jail
just
cell.
that was BC. That was just a little bit of
Dang.
BC. That was a little bit of BC. But yeah, I went to college. Oh, girl, y'all, my story's long.
No,
I
please,
feel like I'm
please.
just-
I'm here for it.
You're such a good storyteller.
For real.
Oh Lord.
I'm just like this. I need popcorn.
I know.
I feel like that's so long. Okay. College.
The things you do in college.
Oh yes, I finally got
College
a
things.
freedom, I guess you could say. And I used to hang around these girls that I shouldn't have, but it was one of those, like, I found my crew. It's my first crew that I know. We hanging around, whatever. Now they definitely not the crew that should have been hanging around again. But like I said, I always felt like this difference between me and living in the world. So I would hang with them. I used to smoke weed. We would do that, and it would be like I said, there would be times where some guys or somebody would come up to me and be like, you're not like them, or kind of like I was telling you, and I would be like, I'm just chilling, I guess. But like I said, this time I've been baptized, but I have yet to have an example of, like, what am I supposed to do next, even after all of this. So, college, whatever, that happens. Fell in love again, I guess you could say.
Beat them boys.
Yeah, I know. So that happened, and then that was a good 2 years, and that, I want to say, broke me. I think that may have broke me. That one, because I actually felt like I was all in, and that was not, should have been the all in. Should have been all in, but I was all in.
Yeah.
So when that ended, I literally had a breakdown. I did. And I think after that, that's when God had to sit me by myself and be alone. And I think that is when I really found, like, that peace. Because he was like, okay, you done got baptized at 13. You done did all this. You got this boyfriend, all this. So now all the distractions are gone. How about you just sit here with me for a minute? And then we can go from there, so you can see, okay, you got baptized. Now let's go from, you're here by yourself. I was in college, and I was living here on campus by myself, no parents, boys gone.
Were you going to
Just
Jubilee
me.
yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So he just had me alone, and what I started to do was devotionals. I like devotionals. For me, like, yes, I love to read the Bible, but for me, I have to do that and something else to, like, help me understand, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do devotionals. I'll do that, like, every day. Just write on, and I like to journal. I like to write. So I put those together, and I just can't remember really what led me. to do it, but I just started doing it. I was alone, so I just started doing it, and I would start journal, doing devotionals every day, go to school, come back, do it not in the morning, but I would do it.
Yeah.
And at that time is when I really felt like I said, a peace, a little, like a joy, like, okay, starting to feel myself, like I'm getting to, like, getting to who I am, dancing and stuff like that. And then I would start noticing, like, other people would see it, like, what are you so happy about? What kind of thing? And I was like, oh, I might be doing something, God. Well, God might be doing something. And then that kind of has led, and that's when I started doing a whole bunch of praying, like, for the future. Like, what I want and stuff like that, what I desire, things like that. And eventually, one by one, it started to come to pass, like, friends. I'll pray for friends, like, genuine friends. And I seen it to start coming to pass. It was Lee-Nay. I think it was Lee-Nay. Lee-Nay first. And then I met Joel in the cafeteria. Y'all, Joel is something. And then I met Joel. And then, then I think from there is when Toss and Talk began a little bit, and it just kind of went from there. And then as it grew, my relationship was like, with God, it grew, and it was like, oh, you really real, like every step of the way.
Yeah.
So I would say, I guess that's when I started to build, and even today it still gets like,
you're still
like
building.
you really real. Like even when the prayers is like being answered, and I'm like, oh, I wrote about this. Oh, so you really real. So it's like it keeps building like that. So I guess 3 years ago, I guess you could say. And then when did I go to Jubilee?
I can't place it either. I like
because
one day you were
with
Nayana's
Joel
here.
and Aline. Oh, and who else? Was it a group of you guys that came?
Yeah.
Together? I feel like I remember that.
I feel like we must have started coming at the same time, though.
Maybe.
Because I feel like you've been there since I've been there.
Maybe.
What year did you
Or
go?
maybe I was still like, it was so early on that I didn't know anybody in the church yet.
Oh, Ahmad.
We weren't even friends yet.
Do you remember Ahmad? Well, I think the first time me coming to Jubilee was with Ahmad. Do you remember him?
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Him. I think he brought me to Jubilee. It was a summertime. That's all I remember. And then ever since then, I've been going to Jubilee. I don't remember how long that was.
Gosh, I feel like it's like forever ago.
I know.
But it's probably not forever
I don't remember.
ago.
No.
Dang, that's crazy.
I was still in school, though. I can't remember. But, yeah. I came with the mod, and I remember because Mr. Arthur was like, hey, is this your husband? And I was like, no, we're just friends. We're just friends. But that's why I remember, because it was a mod. But, yeah, ever since then, I've been going to Jubilee, I think, ever since then. And then ever since then, I've been growing in God. So, yeah. I kind of still say, like, today, I was today's age when I, like, really, like, had a relationship with God, because I'm just still, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, who let me, like, when it comes to shows and stuff, I'm just like, who let me be in charge?
Right.
Like, Friday, I think, we were doing Bible study. I'm just like, and every now and then I'll have a moment where I'm just like, you really made me new, Lord, because when I tell you, like, I did not believe at all. Like, I thought people were crazy. I thought God was a construct that people made up to make themselves feel better about life sucking.
Man.
Like,
Dang.
but no. Like, he's really real.
Yeah.
And he's working on all of us.
I find that every day. Every day. And I feel like with God, it's like, it's kind of like this. It's almost like a season of like, okay, you're up like this, and then you go back down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, is this like, is this a quiet season?
Right.
Like, am I just supposed to be? And then I go back up. I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, God.
Yeah.
It's like that in a good way. In a good way. So, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel like. But like I said, I just keep building.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a very long story.
No,
I'm so sorry.
No, I was like,
Good.
I love
hearing
every
it.
minute.
Oh, Lord.
And now I know a new part of you. I was
Oh,
like, 12 hours. I'm going to start calling you that 12 hours.
that was enough for me. Tell me, I learned my lesson. I
Jail.
control my emotions. I was not for me.
And look at you now. You're married. You have a whole son, a whole child.
Number one mommy over here.
Right.
Like, when does the podcast know how good of a mom Nayana
She is amazing.
I just see it, and
Thank you.
like when we went to your apartment that one time for CPG, I was just like, she made like a bookshelf or a book
Oh, yeah.
thing out of like, I don't know, what was it?
The
Cereal
cardboards.
boxes? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was
I
so
do.
cute. You
Wait,
would have loved
what?
it.
Well, so he has like a whole bunch of books, and I made cardboard, like these cardboard boxes, like a bookshelf. So it's kind of like this kind of thing for his books.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a DIY. Yeah.
And then
Dang,
all the
I'm
little
not
baby
creative
cars
like
on the
that.
wall. It's just like, Nayana's such a good mom. But now
Aw.
now that I know your testimony makes sense. Because I'm just like, how is she this good of a mom at, how old are you?
I'm 26.
At 26. How do you know this stuff? But, okay.
Yeah.
It's, the trauma.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
But
It's actually, honestly, it's really wild because these are prayers that, like I told you in the journal, this is what I prayed for, like, and it's coming to pass. So it's really, it's a blessing. It is. I just be like, dang, I prayed about this. And it's crazy because time be like,
Yes.
I be like, dang, that's so
For real.
crazy.
Because even just, like even in that period of time where I felt like I was alone,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I had friendships while I was BC,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was realizing that I'm not the person I need to be when I'm with them. But then I'm like, okay, so where are those people? Because I don't like, I had Ari and Sissy come back to church and stuff, but it was just like I was just like seeing that whole time period of how the transition, I feel like it happened so quick, but then I also saw how he moved, and then I remember all I wanted was just to have a friend group that helped me in this walk, because I was like, I can't do this by myself. Like, if I need to, Lord, I can, but I know that I need to have people with me. And I remember, I feel like I looked back at a prayer I wrote, and I was just praying for a group of girls that would, I was praying, I was like, Lord, can you please, like, all of this stuff. And little did I know, like, because I don't even remember when you and Candace came.
we just popped up on
And so it's like I see how we are now, and it's like anytime we hang out, it's like one of us ends up crying. We always talk about the goodness of God. There's like 3 different conversations going on. One of us are goofing off, and it's just I look back and I'm like, I prayed for this. I thought I wasn't going to ever have this, and I prayed for this, and I'm like, who would have thought little old Candace coming in and Kathleen? Like, I just never thought my life would be where it is now. Even just working at Jubilee, it's like I remember the last jobs I've had. I just knew I wasn't where I was supposed to be. Like, Lord, what do I do with my life? And I knew I wanted to work in ministry, but I didn't know what that looked like. And so just how we even transitioned to where I am now, I'm just amazing. So now, like, seeing how he has provided and how he's worked in my life and just who he is to me, it's like now doesn't matter how crazy life gets, I know that he's got me and that he's a provider, because I'm like, I'm still living with my parents. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I just know that he's got me. And so if it wasn't for everything I've gone through before, I wouldn't have the peace that I have now, and the trust that I have in him, because in him alone, he is all that I need, and he is enough. And so it's like every time Snapchat memories come up, I'm just like, I'm like, why was I so into myself? And then B, I'm like, gosh, I had no idea who I was back then. That's not even the person. And it's just seeing people, and even just hearing your guys' testimonies and seeing how we are before and then who we are now. It's like, man, this is who he saw this whole time when he was knitting us in our mother's womb. And we just never knew that. And so, and the fact that he loves us so much that he gives us that choice, like the fact that there's people out here, they can have that, they can have what he has for them. That's your choice. And it's like, why don't you want to choose that? And it's amazing. So I loved hearing your testimony and just how you are now, and just hearing Kat's, and just, I love testimonies. It's just so amazing that when we choose him, it really is, when we choose him, that is the best decision we could ever make for ourselves.
It is good.
And he really uses that loneliness season to have you find him. Because, like, I don't think I got to this part of the testimony, but it's like, I'm depressed, I'm here, I'm alone, and I'm driving my car. I think I had started going to Jubilee, and I was still in my, like, I had said a prayer without realizing I said a prayer, because I'm like, all these people believe in God. I'm like, okay, God, if you're real, like, please forgive me, but can you please show me who you are, if you are real? And I was reading the Bible to see, like, what are these kooky people believing in? Like, why did they think he rose from the dead? That's crazy. But I'm in my car and I'm driving to work, and I'm just like, I hate my life. Like, I don't know anyone at work. I don't know anyone here. Yeah. I'm just alone. Like, God, if you're this good God that everyone believes in, why would you bring me here where I'm so sad? And I kid you not, I heard his voice whisper in my heart. It was like, so you could find me. And I'm trying to drive, and I'm trying to get to work, and I just have like tears, like just like kind of like what you're saying in the bathroom floor. Like, I'm just like crying on the way to work, and I'm just trying to like see the road. I'm just like, oh my God, you're real. Because how else could I have ever found you if it wasn't for thank you for this? It was like this overwhelming thing of like thanksgiving and wonder and just like the presence of God. And I think it happened in bits and spurts for belief, because there were still so many questions. Because like, okay, I came to find you, but like, why did Jesus die? But so many things. But like, that was between that and the parable of the lost sheep, which happened all at the same time. I think it was just all like, but it's that loneliness season, so that nothing else can distract you. But you were encouraging me with your prayer testimony. I was like, dang. So like with Nick and Kai, like that's all stuff you've prayed for.
Did you write them down too?
Yeah, I have the journal still with me.
We need to write for our husband.
Yes, I did. I remember praying for my husband. I remember in the shower I would say like things I would want. Guy has a sense of humor, but I remember praying for my husband, and some of the things I prayed for my husband, it really was for me. But yeah, I remember a lot of the prayers I said, and a lot of them I wrote. I could still go back to the journals and look at them. Yeah.
I need to do that more. I have some, like, I know I have the girls, like, there's some I have, and especially just for Chosen. I'm sorry. Especially for, like, Chosen, and, like, there's few things here and there, but I think I lost track of writing down my prayers, and being able to look back and see that come to life, that is very powerful, and you remind me I need to start doing that again.
There was one I saw that was about me joining the worship team, because at that point, I had a lot of imposter syndrome for music. I was like, no, that's for, like, real musicians. But I was like, okay, God, if this is just, like, a weird, like, test, like, please close this door. Because the way it happened, I never even asked. I think we were just hanging out in my apartment, and I was just diddling around on my guitar. And Ari told her dad about it. And then her dad was like, come play. And I remember I was about to go audition. And I was like, God, please close the door if it's not for me. Like, I give it all to you. And to this day, he has not closed that door yet. And I'm just like...
By the way, she's a beast at the guitar. She is so good. It's beautiful.
And then there's another one about my family this year. Because, like, where it's me and my mom. And I've been praying so hard for my brothers and my dad, but this year my younger brother, he's been starting to go to church, and we've been talking on the phone about God and stuff, and it's just like,
isn't that so amazing?
Yes.
It's just like, it's like my heart is just, it melts. I know that's like cliche, but like it is it's like a warming feeling.
It is.
It's almost like are you really real?
I know.
You're really real.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love him.
So, with that being said, y'all, this is a very great conversation.
Yes.
I know.
With that being said, I want to, since y'all got your Bibles, I want to see if you have, like, maybe a scripture to give somebody else, like a young adult like us.
Oh, gosh.
An encouraging message. You could say a scripture, or if you want to just give them a message, something that may help them. Give them that. Something. Whatever you feel led. It don't have to be a scripture if you want to, but whatever you feel led to. Give them that for our little closing remarks.
There's a few that comes to mind. I'm trying to decide which one.
I love how prepared they are with the Bibles. I love it.
It's my safety blanket. Because if I don't know what to say, I can flip to something.
Oh my gosh, where's Ephesians? Oh,
Oh, wait, you were going there too?
Yeah. What were you about to do?
You go first.
Oh gosh. I don't know how I want to go with this because I have a few in mind. Do you have one? Do you have like one? Or do you have
Okay,
more than
I have
one?
one. I have one in Colossians.
I need to put my fingers in the places I need to go to.
I'm gonna do Colossians 1:9. Because this is something I've been praying for myself and the girls and all of the young adults at the church. And it's a prayer that Paul says for the church at Colossae. And he says, "And so from the day we heard, we have not ceased to pray for you, asking that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all spiritual wisdom and understanding, so as to walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing to him, bearing fruit in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God, being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to God the Father, who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints in light." So if you ever don't know anything about the Lord, or if you're ever wondering how to walk in his will, just know that one, at least if I know you, I'm praying this over you, and that you can pray this over yourself. That's mine.
Mine's a prayer as well. And it's something I brought up last Friday. But just as far as like, if you're wanting to get closer to God, like there's this, Paul said a prayer in Ephesians 3, verses 16 to, I don't even know how long. But it's something that I've been trying to pray more over myself and even the ones that I love. And I've rewritten it to where it's like I can make it in my words, but it says, "I pray that from his glorious unlimited resources, he will empower you with the inner strength through his spirit. Then Christ will make his home in your hearts as you trust in him. Your roots will grow down into God's love and keep you strong. And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep his love is. May you experience the love of Christ, though it is too great to understand fully. Then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and power that comes from God. Now all glory to God, who is able, through his mighty power, outwork within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. Glory to him in the church and in Christ through all generations, forever and ever. Amen." There's just so much to God. Like, there's so much to Jesus, and I always, like, I just want to get closer. I want my love for him to grow deeper. And it's like sometimes we need his help to do that. And so I've just been praying that more over myself. And even just if you are one like me who have a fear of getting outside your comfort zone and have a fear of men and their opinions and stuff, that's something I'm currently struggling with. Because I think that's my fear, is that if it comes to a moment where God's telling me to do something or like wanting me to share, whatever the case may be, but because I'm too scared of what they would think, it's like, oh my goodness. But something I have probably said way too many times, but I always go back to Galatians 1:10, and Paul says, this whole passage, he says, "Obviously, I'm not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant." And so I'm trying to remind that and have that embedded into my brain, because if it comes to that point, I have to remind myself, I'm not here to please people. I'm here to please God. And I'm not going to be his servant if I'm here to please people. That's not the case. And so just don't be afraid. You really have to rely on him. And I'm currently learning that to this day. Yeah. I'm like, I can't care so much about people's opinions, because men will never be satisfied. And the only one who satisfies is Jesus. And so if I look crazy to some people, then I look crazy to some people. But at the end of the day, when we all die, they're not going to be thinking about me. They're not going to be thinking about what I said or what I did.
They're going to be thinking about where they end up.
They're going to be thinking about where they end up. So if you're getting closer to God and you're just trying to build your relationship and you feel led to do something, but you're too scared to, just remember, you're not here to please people. You're here to please God. And if your goal is to please people, you won't be Christ's servant. Just want to share that.
You don't say that too much.
Oh, I don't?
Say it, no.
Okay.
You can say it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. Give each other your hand claps. You did good. Listen, we're always nervous when we start, but look how it turned out. We did good.
I know. Look at
I could go for another hour or two. I want to hear more.
I know, it was good. So I just want to thank y'all for coming.
Thanks for having us. We really did enjoy it.
Thank y'all for watching. We hope to see y'all next episode. And with that being said, Love you.
Oh, I need to do this one.
Bye, all.
Bye, guys.